Well, greetings. This is Steve, N4LQ. I've had a few people ask me to give them a demonstration of how to tune sideband on the IC-7300 and what the screen looks like. So here we are on 40. It's late in the evening and there's a lot of shortwave stations coming in on the waterfall. You can see the solid stripes there. Those are carriers. And then these vertical fuzzy places here are losing focus. Those are sideband guys. What happens is the autofocus changes when I get my stylus in the way. Anyway, we're in the fixed mode, as you can see here, cent/fix. And in the fixed mode, we have a cursor. As you can see, the little cursor move there. And the frequency on the display stays fixed, but the cursor moves as we change frequencies of the VFO. So if we want to listen to somebody, we line the cursor up with the right side of the guy. If we're on upper sideband, we would use the left side, but on lower sideband, we use the right side, and we listen to his lower side. So let's see if we can turn on the audio.
We were taught different. You know, we were taught America, our country.
You probably don't want to listen to those guys.
Workbench, but being that the light part was no good, you know, there was no sense throwing a boom out if you could do something with it. Yeah. Well, I don't remember the details, but it had a box, I think, on the bottom with outlets and all that. So anyway, let's see if we can. I did work a few stages, and I said.
So let me turn the audio off and explain the difference in these two modes. Now, if we go to center mode, our span is more or less fixed at whatever we set it for. So our span right now that we are seeing is, here's 0, we're seeing -4 kilohertz up to +4 kilohertz of the RF spectrum. And so this is that guy that's talking right here. And you can see most of his audio energy is right here near the 0 point. And then as he gets higher in pitch or frequency, away from that, the audio level decreases. Well, I can set it for a greater span, and this is showing us -8, 0 to -8 kilohertz, and then we can just keep going. -20 and -40, -80, and so forth. In the fixed mode, in order to change what we see, we have to go into the menu. So I'm showing 7.16 to 7.28 megahertz. I can click on the edge button here, and I've got three edges set up. So if I'm on the CW part of the band, I would hit that, and it would take me to a predefined spectrum display. To change that, go into hold your set in and go to fixed edges, and you can see your bands. These are bands. This is the 6 to 8 megahertz band, so this would cover 40 meters. You go into there, and there's your three edge settings. And number 3, you can go into there and actually make it anything you want. So this is 7.15 to 7.3 megahertz. Okay, so we'll exit out of this. So that's how you set them up. And you'll notice your cursor, as you tune, lights up in the waterfall, but when you stop tuning, it goes away. So that way it's not in your way when you're trying to see a weak signal. Like this guy right here, he's going to be somewhere right around in there. And if I turn on my audio again,
And he just looked at me very strangely. And I would have loved to have him in the POW camp because he was a religious fanatic.
yeah, so we can also tune by using the touch screen. If we see a signal of interest, like right here, this gives us our magnifying window, and then I would touch the right edge.
K2CB, W2JVM. Yeah. Did you find the pole, or you know exactly where it is? Over.
Well, I found the house. It's on Holly. I was going to say Holy Court. Holly Court. That's on right smack in number 2. That's right smack on the corner of Kettle Creek and Holly Court. And there's a big pole there, but it seems like it's from the house. Over.
Yeah, it could be. Well, call the electric company. They might do something.
So now, in adjusting the RF gain, if you turn it all the way up, you're going to see a little bit too much background. And it's best to turn that down to where you have sort of a dark blue cast, and then you'll start seeing the contrast between your strong and weaker signals. Your stronger signals will be the darker color, like that, and then they get lighter as they become weaker. The spectrum scope up here is something that I don't use too much because the waterfall is so much better. However, if I click on expand, I've got it set so that all that I see now is the spectrum scope, and of course I see the large meter and the large frequency readout, which some people might prefer. I can also go into the menu and change it so that I see a small spectrum scope and a small waterfall. Back to normal here.
MasterCard, and they'll get it out to you today.
Well, I got 3 mics.
So let's go back to center, and let's get him down here where we can see him a little bit better. Let's go to about a 4 kilohertz bandwidth.
It won't do a 90-degree turn, so that's what I needed here for my particular installation.
Now, if we want to analyze his audio, we can go to the menu and click on audio, and this gives us 2 more scopes, and these are strictly audio scopes. And this one here, we're seeing the waterfall and his audio spectrum, and here we're seeing just a regular oscilloscope.
Receiver until it would either stop or it would turn on, and it would cycle constantly once they got a little darker, cloudy out. And I called them and they told me a couple of weeks, and
and here we can change the speed of the scope, look at it a bit closer, and we can hit hold and lock it in and see his voice as it's being transmitted there. Again, this is strictly audio.
Nothing from them, from the engineering department, and I have a director. Her name is Corsa. Weird name. She got a hell of an accent. I don't know, but in any case...
there you go. I hope this was some help in seeing how sideband can be displayed on your IC-7300. Thanks.